We'll chant Om 3 times, followed by the invocation shlokas. Inhale deeply. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Samasta Jana Kalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram. We'll chant Mangalacharnam Sloka. So one of you please go off mute and repeat after me. Antaryascha bahirvidhutatimiram
Antaryascha. Sorry, I just lost my place. Bahirvidhut Timiram
Jyotirmayam Shashwatam
Jyotirmayam Shashwatam
Sthanam Prapya Virajate Vinamatam
Sthanam Prapya Virajate Vinamtam
Ajnanamunmulayan
Ajnana Unmulayan
Pashyan Vishwamapidamullasatiyo
Pashyanti Vishwa Pidamullasatim Yo
Vishwasya Pare Paraha
Vishwasya Pare Paraha
Tasmai Shri Ramanaya Loka Gurave
Tasmai Shri Ramanaya Loka Guruve
Shokasya Hantre Namaha.
Shokasya Hantre Namaha.
Yeah. So as we are covering Upadesha Sara by Bhagwan Raman Maharshi Ji, Maharshi Ji first picked up the topic of Karma Yoga and he completed the entire Karma Yoga in 3 verses. And then Bhagwan started taking up the topic of Bhakti Yoga. Why Bhakti Yoga now? Because Karma Yoga is centered around Bhakti. Both Ishwararpana Buddhi, both Prasada Buddhi are all centered around Bhakti only. So in Bhakti Yoga, when we say Bhakti Yoga, what is Bhakti Yoga means is that it is referring to specific sadhanas, specific practices we take up to purify our mind. From our perspective, as an instrument, we have 3 instruments. This body is an instrument, our speech is an instrument, and even our mind is an instrument. So using these 3 instruments, we can express our bhakti. When we express our bhakti through our body, meaning body, speech, and mind all together included, it is called as puja. If we primarily use our speech as instrument, walk, then that becomes japa. And when we use our mind primarily, then it becomes chintanam. So these are the three ones that Bhagwan mentioned. And then when we do the puja, then Bhagwan started taking the topic of puja specifically. When we are doing puja, what Bhagwan says is that we must perform complete puja or purna puja. Purna puja or complete puja means what? Meaning we must perform the puja for to entire universe. Now, whether I believe in Lord Shiva or Lord Vishnu or Allah or Jesus, that doesn't matter. Okay? From our Vedanta perspective, all of these forms are Ashtamurti Bhrut. Ashtamurti Bhrut, 8 forms of universal Lord. And we said that those 8 elements are, or 8 forms are Panchamahabhutas, 5 great elements, Sun, representing all luminous bodies in this universe, Moon, which is representing all non-luminous bodies, meaning, say, for example, all planets, they don't have their own luminosity. Satellites don't have luminosity. Earth, right? So all of those, and then even like you and I don't have our own luminosity. So all of these bodies, then the Jiva himself, okay, is this 8 forms of the Lord. Now, Jiva himself means what? Okay, so if I am a Jiva, you are a Jiva, so that means that we are all form of the same universal Lord. So when we do puja, we need to understand that every form around me, whether it is living or non-living, is that universal Lord alone. Now, whether my God is great or your God is great, my Siddhanta, meaning my philosophy is great or your philosophy is great, in these aspects, as long as there are 2 people, there will be a fight. Within Vedantins, we will have a fight between whether Advaita is right or Dvaita is right or Vishishtadvaita is right. Then we have fight between, not fight. Gautama Buddha said, no, I don't believe in these practices that are happening in this time period. And then he wanted to move away, and then he ended up establishing a religion. I mean, like, he did not establish a religion, but his descendants established a religion. Then we were invaded by, like, India was invaded by Muslim people. Then we started having a difference of opinion and some fights between Hindus and Muslims. Why? About our religion is better or your religion is better. Then someone like Guru Nanak Ji came to say, like, everything is one and the same. And it so happened that his followers ended up creating a separate religion as Sikhism. If you look at even Sai Baba, I'm talking about Shirdi Sai Baba, he wanted to say that Hinduism or Muslim Islam, it doesn't matter. But somehow Sai Baba is absorbed into Hinduism as a god. So now, given all of this, okay, which religion is right, which religion is superior, which religion is best, don't get into that kind of a argument. Understand that this entire world is one universal God. It doesn't matter what we call that, what name we give to that Lord. So actually in our class, Swamiji told an interesting story, anecdote. Okay. So all the ants, Okay, ants, you know, right? Those little ants. Okay? You have red ants, you have black ants, etc. So all these ants in the universe have had an international conference about who is God. No, like when you go into conference, what happens is that there are several main tent. That's what they call, like as in like, everybody comes together, like all the 5,000 attendees, and then afterwards they will have working committees and groups. They go into different rooms and they talk, and then they come back and present all of that. So by end of day one, it's a week-long conference. By end of day one, they came to a conclusion, or rather two conclusions. All ants have got two sensors. When I walk, they like these two antennas go like this. So they all agreed that it is God. That is the resolution number one. No problem. Now, God must be somewhat greater than the rest of the ants. So they agreed that God must have three sensors instead of two sensors. Then they continued the discussions on day 2, day 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And even at the end of by seventh day, they could not come to a conclusion whether the third sensor is on the head or on the tail. And they continue to fight. Okay. So when we think, when we fight whether Lord Rama is great or Lord Shiva is great or Lord Vishnu is great, okay, it is like those ants. So don't get into those kind of a uh, arguments or thoughts about which form of the god is great, etc. Okay, so whichever form that we take, whichever form we visualize, that form is for our convenience that we are doing. Okay, so that like we are giving God is formless, God is attributeless, because my mind cannot comprehend this God who is formless and attributeless. For my own convenience, so that my mind can rest in something, I give a particular form which I like, on which I can, about which form I am happy about it, and that form I call it as Lord Shiva or Lord Vishnu or Muruga, Ganesha, etc. And then we pray. And that is absolutely fine. Only thing is that don't say that my form is better than your form. My form is good for me, your form is good for you. So this puja, japa, and dhyana, these puja, japa, and dhyana, Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi Ji are graded on a scale. Like I said, like, he said, like, okay, compared to puja, japa is better, compared to japa, dhyana is better, like that, right? Pujanam japas chintanam kramat. Now this puja, japa, chintana, before we conclude this topic, how should this puja be done? This Ashtamurti Brud Deva Pujanam, right? So that Ashtamurti, how should we have that attitude? This is actually described by Bhagwan Shankaracharya ji in Shiva Manasa Puja. Bhagwan Adi Shankaracharya ji wrote so many stotras, etc. So one of the stotras is called as Shiva Manasa Puja. Now, what is Manasa Puja? That means that the puja is done within mind. So no flowers are required. You don't have to go out and bring milk or abhishekam for abhishekam. You don't need to prepare naivedyam, meaning bhog jadana, nothing like that. All of that you do mentally. So this Shiva Manasa Puja, that is just, and in that the Shiva Manasa Puja is concluded. I mean, like there's one shloka in Shiva Manasa Puja. it says, this is actually a shloka that in Mission Orlando, they pretty much they chant on a regular basis. So this Atma Tum Girijamatihi Sahachara Pranaha Shariram Gruham Puja Te Vishaya Bhoga Rachana Nidra Samadhastitihi Sanchara Padayo Pradakshana Vidhi Stotrani Sarva Giro Yajjat Karma Karomi Tattadakilam Shambho Tavaradhanam. This is a shloka. So just give the translation of this, quick translation. It is a prayer to Lord Shiva, of course. Okay. So Atma Tvam, meaning Lord, this Atma, this self is you. Girija, Girija meaning Mother Parvati is Girija. That Girija is my mind. Why Girija is mind? Because Mother Parvati is representing Prakriti. That's why. Okay. So then Sahacharaha Pranaha, meaning who are my friends? My pranas are my friends. Okay. Because my pranas are always with me, but are also like coming and going. Okay. Every inhalation, a new fresh breath of air is coming, and every exhalation that is going. And then every prana, every incoming prana is helping me. So that's why sahacharas are these pranas are sahacharas, mean these pranas are my friends. Shariram Gruham. Okay. Now, Gruham sometimes can mean, many times it is house, but sometimes it can also means temple. So, this body, technically, we say that this body is my body, but understand that this body is belongs to Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva, again, like, okay, don't think about Shiva alone, right? If you feel free to replace with Lord Vishnu or whoever. Okay, so this body belongs to the Lord. So now when this body belongs to the Lord, I mean, like you see, like if, do you own any temple? Any of you? No, right? None of us own any temple because by definition, temple is a public property. Okay, but now if you see some dirt in the temple in front of Bhagwan, instinctively we try to clean it out. Why? We want to see Bhagwan's house clean. So if this body belongs to Lord Shiva, is Lord Shiva's residing, because who? Atma is who? Atma is Bhagwan, we said already. So, and if Bhagwan is residing, so I had to keep this body clean. This body meaning what? Not just physical body, okay? Not just Sthula Sharira, but also Sukshma, Karana Shariras also, meaning like my mind also should be pure. Puja te Vishayopa Bhoga Rachana. This puja, this puja that I'm performing, what is this puja? Everything. Vishaya Upabhoga Rachana. Vishaya means all the objects of the world that my senses are getting in contact with. So puja te. So now puja te Vishayopabhoga Rachana means all the experiences that my indriyas, okay, is having, and all the transaction that is they are doing with these with objects of senses, it is all your puja Bhagwan. Okay, so this is how I'm doing your puja, meaning every contact of mine is contacting you. Okay, so if I see something, that means what? My eyes are seeing something. That means what? I am seeing Bhagwan. I'm hearing something. That means what? I am hearing something of Bhagwan. Okay, so like that. Nidra samadha sthitihi. So when I'm going to sleep, what should be my attitude? I am merging into Lord. Okay. That is the thought we should have when we are going to Nidra. Sanchara padayo pradikshana vidhi. So wherever I'm walking, I assume that I am doing pradakshina for the Lord. You know what pradakshina is? Okay. So when you go into temple, depending upon how the murtis are arranged, if there's space behind them, you walk around that male murti with the prostrated hands 3 times in clockwise direction. What does it signify? You're saying that my life is centered around you. That is the understanding. So now this whole world is Ashtamurti Brut, right? So wherever I'm walking, Bhagwan, that is understand that is pradakshina for you. So not just in the temple, wherever I'm walking, it is for you and it is walked by you. Okay, so that is the attitude we must have. Stotrani sarva giro. So now, whenever I'm speaking with someone. Now, whoever I'm speaking with is Bhagwan only. So every word I utter must be a stotra for you. Okay? Every speech, every word of speech that I utter must be stotra. Stotra meaning praising God, right? So that means that I should be very careful about what comes out of my mouth. Why Bhagwan, all of this, okay, I don't want to list this, that, or that, etc. Yadyat karma karomi tat tat akhilam shambho tavaratnam. Whatever karmas I am performing, Bhagwan, understand that that is your puja, that is your aradhana. Okay. So this must be our attitude throughout the day, every day, no matter what we are doing. If your Ishtadevata is Vishnu Bhagwan, instead of Shiva, think about Vishnu and Lakshmi. Okay. If your Ishtadevata is Rama, replace Shiva and Parvati with Rama and Sita. Doesn't matter. But attitude should be like that. Okay, so this is what I mean, because I mean, like I just spoke about this shloka because Bhagwan Ravana Maharshi ji gave the idea of what we must do with Ashtamurti Deva Pujanam, but then how exactly we need to do is described in the shloka. So I thought like I'll share this with, because again like we also have studied this in our class when I was studying under my teacher Swami Advayananda ji. Okay, so I also put the shloka in chat. So if you are interested, you can copy it. Then we are shifting the topic to Japa. Before we shift the topic to Japa, any questions based on whatever you heard so far?
Not really, but I just wanted to make a comment. Not comment, is these days, there is one Bake Bihari Mandir. So they are making it like, Varanasi and this thing, like a corridor.
Okay.
And the on the ownership of this thing. So the people who used to manage that, they are annoyed with the government and they think we will take the murti and go somewhere else. I mean, we own the mandir. They just on that.
Yeah. So see, the thing is that every murti, every like Garbha Gudi, right? I mean, Garbha Gudi meaning like the inner sanctum murtis, they all have Vishesha Bala, meaning they have special strength and special thing. But as we just talked about, right? Like, whatever I am doing, it is for Bhagwan only. Having that thought, okay, as opposed to, because at the end of the day, whether we depend on Kashi Vishwanatha or Ayodhya Rama or Tirupati Venkateswara Swami, it doesn't matter. All of them are crutches for us. Okay, I mean, like it's like a third holding stick to help us walk, but the inner strength should be built along with that external strength. That is the most important thing. Okay? So different people do different things, as you said, Rajiv ji. Yeah. Okay. Shall we go to the next shloka? No. This we were going to the verse 6. This topic is Japa. Yeah. So there is one word in line 1, 2 words in line 2, right? I mean, the samasta pada is there. I'll break down the words. Uttama, stavat, ucca, mandataha. Uttama, stavat, ucca, mandataha. Together becomes Uttama, stavat, ucca, mandataha. Okay. Chittajam. One word. Japa, dhyana, uttamam. Okay. Japa, dhyanam, uttamam. 3 words together. Japa, dhyanam, uttamam. Okay. Now, this is not Anushtup Chanda, right? So there is no breakdown of eight syllables like in Bhagavad Gita. Okay, so just as a FYI. So one of you please go off mute and please repeat after me. Uttamastavadutchamandataha.
उत्तमस्तवाद् उच्चमन्दतः
Chittajam japa dhyanamuttamam.
चित्तजं जपाध्यानमुत्तमम्.
So now, in the topic of japa, again, there are 4 things he talks about. Okay. Stavat, 1. Ucca, Manda, Chitta, Japa. So these 3, second, third, fourth are types of japa. This stava is kind of can also be considered as japa. Okay, so these are 4 gradations that Bhagwan is talking about. Okay. Stava. Okay, so now Uttama. So now what he says, Uttama stavat compared to stava. Stava means stotra. Okay, compared to stotram, Ucca, Manda, Chitta, Japam. Chittaja Japam, Dhyanam, Uttamam. Japa Dhyanam, Uttamam. So that means Stavat is good. Compared to that, Ucca Japa is better. Compared to that, Manda Japa is better. Compared to that, Chitta Japa or Dhyanam is better. Okay, so there's like 4 things. So, what is stava? First, let us understand what is stava. So, stava is stotram. Okay. Now, these stotras can be from Vedas. So, for example, Purusha Suktam, Shri Suktam, okay, Manyu Suktam, okay, Bhu Suktam, Nila Suktam, Agni Suktam. These are all Suktams, they're all good. Then there are certain stava that are written outside of Vedas also, like in Puranas. Okay. For example, in Bhagavatam, there are a lot of stutis for Bhagwan. Like Prahlada stuti is one stuti, that is where Prahlada prays to Narasimha Swami. Then in the
विनवादित्य हृदयम्.
Sorry?
Ramayana? Aditya Hridayam in
Yeah.
Ramayana?
Aditya Hridayam in Valmiki Ramayanam. Then even in the very beginning of Bhagavatam itself, Kunti Devi does a stuti of Lord Sri Krishna. Bhishma stuti is there. So like that, there are stutis all over in lot of Puranas and Itihasas. So they are all also stutis. They are also stotras. Now, other people also have written stotras. Like, so for example, we just I said, right, the shloka that I just gave you is from Shiva Manasa Puja, and that is written by Adi Shankaracharya ji. Now, think about mm, Hanuman Chalisa, written by Tulsidas ji. So now Hanuman Chalisa is not in Sanskritam. Okay, so like that, there could be stotrams in other than Sanskrit language also. But even though whether they are found in Vedas, whether they are found in Puranas, or outside of those, depending on the rishis who wrote, okay, because of the strength of those rishis, etc., and they all have the power. Okay, they all have supreme power, water power, because Hanuman Chalisa is considered as Siddha Mantra. Okay, even though it is not found in Vedas or something like that, it is still considered, Hanuman Chalisa is considered as a Siddha Mantra. So they all will help in our progression. Why? These are all the worships of the Lord by bringing the glory of the Lord into our mind. Okay, and that glory, when it is brought into our mind, like a Vishnu Sahasranam is a glory, Lalita Sahasranam is a glory, right? There are Shiva Sahasranama as well as so many Ashtotarams. That all of those bring the glory of the Lord to our mind. So that is Tava. Okay, and even bhajans. Okay, like any bhajans that we do, those are also come under Stava. So occasionally there will be Sundarakand Parayana in some temples on a particular day. So that is also a stava. Okay. So like that. Now, compared to that, Ucha Japa. Okay, so now let us see what are the three types of japas. Number one is Ucha Japa. Ucha means high. Manda means low. So Ucha Japa means where japa is done loudly. So when we are performing, like when we are chanting the name of the Lord, okay, so japa, okay, so in japa, what are we doing in japa? We are chanting the name of the Lord. Now in chanting the name of the Lord, usually this japa is not parayana. Parayana means Hanuman Chalisa, like reading Hanuman Chalisa is Parayana, Hanuman Chalisa Parayana. I read 11 times Hanuman Chalisa today. That is Parayana. Japa means no Hanuman Chalisa Parayana. It is simply Om Shri Hanumate Namaha. That's all probably. Okay. So this purpose, okay. Now, this Japa, again, we as in a couple of sessions ago when we were talking about puja, we said, right, whether it is puja or japa, okay, pa represents papanashana, removal of sins, and ja represents removal of future births, janma nashana, papanashana and janma nashana. Together, one clears out all our karmic debts, papanashana, and janma nashana guarantees
No births.
the no births or liberation. So now in Ucha Japa, what is happening is we are chanting aloud. Now, why are we chanting aloud? We are not chanting aloud to show off to people. Okay. it is not to show off people. There could be some value in there. Meaning sometimes what happens is that, say, for example, you go to temple, maybe a volunteer is chanting Om Namo Narayanaya continually. Now, if he's chanting Om Namo Narayana continually, what happens is that, like, maybe even he's chanting in a mic or something like that, the mind, not only his mind, but our mind also goes a little bit into Narayana, Bhagwan. Okay. So then we get a little bit of a peace. Okay. So, but primarily what it is that it helps me when I am chanting loudly. I am able to hold my mind. Okay, so that is the purpose. Okay, try to hold the purpose of chanting loudly is to hold my mind. Now, compared to this Ucha Japa, Manda Japa is next. Okay, Manda Japa means slow or dull. Dull means your voice is not coming up high, clearly. Rather, it is whisper japa, soft japa. You're just whispering that Sri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, so that only you can hear. Not that you want to other people know what you're doing either. Okay? Not that you're trying to hide, but you are chanting at a low sound that only you are able to hear. So this volume, basically what happened is that earlier my mind is running around all over. So I needed to chant loudly for my mind to subdue a little bit. But over a period of practice, what happened is that the moment I start chanting the name of the Lord, the mind started subduing automatically, that I don't have to chant aloud. Okay. So this is Manda Japa. Then this is better. Okay. But now the question is that why is this better? Okay. So it is not like Ucha Japa is poor quality and Manda Japa is better quality. No, don't think like that. Rather, what happens is that Ucha Japa to Manda Japa shows our progression. Okay, to what extent I have progressed. Do I need to chant loudly to keep my mind in check? Or is chanting softly is enough to keep my mind in check? In that way, when I have got enough maturity where I don't have to chant loudly, but like, a little sound, and my mind is still in control, then it is better for me, because I got a little bit more maturity. That's what in terms of better means. Now, Chittajam. Okay. Now, Chittajam means what? You need to chant the name of the Lord in mind. Now, here the organ of speech is not working. Okay. Now, organ of speech is not working means what? You're not really saying Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, but your mind is saying Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. And your ears cannot really hear it because your mouth or tongue is not active, but in your head you are hearing that chanting that you are doing. So now think about it. If you need to chant, if I say without thinking anything else, you must chant 108 times of japa of your favorite God. Okay, I'm not going to say, oh, you should chant Lord Rama's name, whereas your favorite is Vishnu. No. Okay, you pick your favorite god and you chant the name of the Lord 108 times without mind going anywhere else, without mind getting any other thought. That is very difficult. Okay, that is very difficult. So it is not that Chitta Japa is superior, but if you are able to do Chitta Japa with minimal distractions, that means that you have attained a better progress. You reached a better progression point. Okay, that's what it is. So the progression of the seeker is from Stotra to Ucha Japa to Manda Japa to Chittajam Japa. Okay, so that's what this shloka is talking about. So it's about 8:15. So let us, do you have any questions based on what you heard so far around Japa?
The whatever the reputation of the Lord whom we choose or whatever, we start aloud and then slowly, automatically, the mind will start focusing silently, is it? In other words?
It depends upon the number of days of practice that you already had and the type of life you have already lived, right? So you don't have to start with loud japa. Okay, you can start with manda japa also. That should be fine. Okay, there's no such thing as that you had to start with stotra only, or if you haven't done stotra like bhajans for at least 6 months, 3 times every week. No, 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 nothing like that. Okay, so wherever your mind is resting, that's where it is good. Okay, so that should be fine. Okay. So I told that we'll do a little bit of a overview of Japa in terms of practice of Japa. Okay. So I'll show you with my Japa mala. Okay. So this is a Japa mala, right? Let me do one thing. Just my video, I'll change this background to blurring. Okay. Okay. So this is Japamala, right? Now this particular Japamala is Rudraksha. Okay, the one that I have is Rudraksha. Now you can use any Japamala. Okay, the people there are thoughts that Rudraksha is for Shiva primarily, for Vishnu Bhagwan, or like if you're a Vaishnavite, probably use Tulsi Mala. Okay, or then Spatika Mala, crystal Mala is better for certain things. Okay? Like that, there are so many thoughts, okay, that are there. Probably they're all true. I am not aware of. I mean, like I don't have the knowledge in that domain. Okay, what my teacher said is that it doesn't matter which mala I use. It doesn't matter. And even in Rudraksha, right? This is what they call as most common type of Rudraksha. Okay, so this has got 5 faces. Okay, so it's called as Panchamukhi. Panchamukhi is Rudraksha is more common. And then you have multiple phases for Rudrakshas from Ekamukhi, then one phase to 2 phase to all the way to 11 phases or something like that. And depending upon how rare it is, the price of individual Rudraksha can go into hundreds and thousands of dollars. And even fake Rudrakshas are also a big business. Okay, so, but don't get into any of those. Whatever mala you have, that should be fine. Then another thing that, again, like I'm saying whatever my teacher has said, right? It doesn't matter which mala you use to which god. You can use the same mala to all god, all forms of the divinity. It doesn't matter. Usually, these Rudraksha malas, a full mala will have 108 beads. Okay, some of them may have 54. Okay, some may be like another half of it is 27. Okay. Sometimes they also have like a bracelet type malas also. Okay, with 11 or something like that. So there could be of different sizes. Sizes don't matter. Okay, and the number of beads don't matter. Now, specifically, why 108 number? Okay, so 108 has a special means. I mean, like special significance in our Hindu tradition is because 8 usually represents
Infinity.
8 usually represents Prakriti. Okay,
Prakriti, is it?
and 1 is representing one Advaita. Okay, one Lord. Okay, and then that 0 is that this entire Prakriti is becoming 0 and it is merging into Bhagwan. That's what I think Swami Swarupanandaji told us. Okay, maybe I might have misquoted part of it, I'm not sure, but this is the thought. Okay, and usually number 9 is Bhagwan's number. Okay, why is Bhagwan's number is that whatever, however you multiply, it remains same. Okay, so that in like what is 9 times 2 is 18, and 1 plus 8 is
9.
it remains same. 9 times 3 is 27. 2 plus 7 now. So like that, it remains same. That's why it is the Bhagwan's number. Now 8 is Prakriti's number, I said, right? Okay. So if 8 is Prakriti's number, what happens? 8 times 1 is
8.
8 times 2 is
16.
okay, if you add 1 plus 6,
7.
so that is like a little bit reduced than 8. Okay. Then 8 times 3,
24.
okay, so 2 plus 4 is
6.
it is
Okay.
further reduced. Okay. Then 8 times 4 is 32, so that is 5, then like that. Okay. So that's why it is Prakriti is constantly reducing. So that's okay. But anyway, so our main goal is this Japamala, right? In Japamala, you see this one of the beads is on the top, it is there like this, right? Okay, so a top bead. Okay. Now, this top bead is called as Meru. Okay. Meru. Did you hear the term Meru before? Name Meru ever before? What do you know whose name is Meru?
Hanumanji, Meru Parvat or something.
Meru Parvat. Yeah. Okay. Meru mountain. So this is a supreme mountain like that. Okay. So this is the topmost. Okay. So when you're chanting, when you're doing japa, you don't cross Meru. Number 1. Okay. So that's one rule. Instead, what you do is that, okay. So now the other thing is that, are you able to see clearly? Okay. So you should hold on to, okay. You should hold on to the mala with your 4th finger, ring finger. Okay. You should hold your mala in your ring finger. Then the 3rd finger, the middle finger, must be used to pull the bead towards you after each chant. Okay. If I say Om Namah Shivaya, the 3rd finger pulls this bead. I may take support of the other fingers too. Okay. So you don't have to stand like this. Okay. I'm just showing you for demonstration purposes, but the little finger is also giving support to the 4th finger, and the other fingers rest of the fingers are also supporting. But you use your 3rd finger or the middle finger to pull the bead towards you. Om Namah Shivaya again. Om Namah Shivaya again. Om Namah Shivaya again. So the third finger is the one that is actually pulling the bead towards me, towards me, towards me, towards me with each chant. Okay. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, like that. Okay. So
Be done only with the thumb, like
if you want to pull, like, I mean, you can use the thumb also to pull in from inside.
yeah,
Because
from inside. If I
you can support your third finger with your thumb if you want to. Okay.
okay.
So like that you are scrolling, right? So that's how, like, you keep chanting. Now, as you're chanting, you came towards the end. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. So now I hit Meru, right? After chanting Om Namah Shivaya, like after 108 times, I hit the end. Now what? If I want to do one more round, then I should not remember, like the first rule I said is don't cross like this. So in that case, what you do is you actually turn the mala around like this. And again hold it, and from the beginning you do. Okay?
Needs practice.
No, it is simple, right? So actually, like, maybe I have to turn off this thing. One more, let me turn off this one too, right? So, okay, so see here. I came up to here, right? So I just turn and then do one more. Okay, that's all. Now, if you have difficulty in turning, right? Okay, so if I came up to here, you have difficulty, take this out, turn and put it back. No, not a problem. Okay, so there are no acrobatics involved in this. Okay, so any questions on how to hold mala and do the japa?
Venkatji, when we turn the mala,
Mhm.
you said, so when we start back from where we finished then, for example, now if we do the 108 and we reach there,
Mhm.
and then we turn back,
Mhm.
so when we turn back, it is, we start back from where we finished,
Yes.
right?
Yes. That is
Okay,
correct. Yes.
thank you.
Okay. No worries. So this is how we chant. Okay. So any other questions?
Can both the hands be used now? Like if I do like this and then
I mean, see, the thing is that if you don't have enough, see, the whole reason, okay, let me tell you a little bit more, right? Japamala, why do we use Japamala? Okay, let's go back to the basic, more basic question. Okay, why do we use Japamala? Um, if you ask me to chant the name, if you ask me to watch a movie, right, and put a movie, okay, like nice action movie, okay, and or action comedy movie. And you tell me that, Venkat, you should only watch this movie for first 5 minutes and then turn off the TV. I'll say yes to you, and I won't even know until I finish the movie. Okay. Oh, the movie is finished. It's already 3 hours. Like that, it would be there in my head. But if you tell me, Venkat, there is no clock here, but chant the name of the Lord for 10 minutes. After 2 minutes, I think that I chanted for 20 minutes. You see the problem with the mind? So what this mala is doing is that it is giving some kind of a predictability. Okay, number one. So it is a kind of a crutch in that way. Now, I'm chanting Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. Had, like my son's wedding is coming along and a lot of things need to be done, that needs to be done, this needs to be done. So when the mind goes away somewhere, what happens? Mala stops. Then you realize, oh, this mala is stopped. So that means I'm not chanting. Okay, let me start. Okay. So like that, it gives accountability for ourselves. That is the primary purpose of Japa mala. Okay. So it helps us. So it is an external helper to ensure that we are chanting clearly. Okay. So that is why Japamala is used. Now, why I'm saying, like, what is that to do with your question? Is you're asking me if you can hold it with both hands, etc. Understand that your primary goal is to chant the name of the Lord. And the mind should be reveling in the form and the glory of the Lord. Okay. As long as that is being done, whether you're holding Japmala this way or that way shouldn't matter. Okay. Now, that's it, right? Everything, right? I mean, like, say, for example, if you play, have you ever seen golf?
Yeah, kind of.
Okay, so you saw golf, right? Now, the thing is that the point is, what is the end goal? End goal is push that ball into wherever that hole is, right? In minimum number of strokes. Now, it doesn't matter whether you hit the ball in with your left hand or right hand or whatever, like as long as you use the golf club. But even in golf, they tell you, right? They tell you like, okay, what is the stance? Okay, they'll make you practice the stance for first 2 days. Okay, and they say that, hey, you are not, you shouldn't be bending your back, rather you should put like lower your what you call like knees a little bit. Okay, oh, you're bending too much. You're doing this. Okay, so your grip should be here. You should hold the back uh, uh, golf club here, okay, in this angle, that angle. And there's a whole science to it. Okay, but the point though is that whether you got like this grip or that grip or this stance or that stance, it doesn't matter. If the ball actually fell in the in the hole with fewer strokes than the other people, then you are the winner. That's all matters. But all of this, are these useless things? No, 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 they are not useless things. They are 100% useful. However, okay, the end goal is that hitting the ball. Okay. In the same way, all of these stances that they teach you, etc., they all help you to get there, achieve that. And these techniques that our teachers taught us, all of them help our mind getting there. Okay. So do not worry too much about this. Keep the most central point is Bhagwan is the central point in Japa. So try to hold on to the form of the Lord, hold on to the glories of the Lord, hold on to the name of the Lord. That is a primary, first and foremost in Japa. Okay. So, any questions?
Yeah, for the Meru bead, we don't have to cross it, you said, right?
Yes.
So when we chant, we don't chant when we stop the chant at before we reach the Meru bead.
Yeah, when you reach the Meru bead, yes.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, and you just turn it and then start again.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. So shall we close then for today?
Yeah.
पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ